me share this now. Let's try this again. I gotta make sure the air. I didn't bring my lapel mic. Forgot. I gotta get used to this. I'm gonna just start just leaving the lapel mic within reach because it's a part of my daily routine now. About to share it to the book real quick. All right, man. I'm here, man. What a weekend. What an awesome weekend. Awesome comedy show. Shout out to the comics that did their thing. Dan Brown, Ricky Rick. Ricky Rick did fantastic. But special shout out to the feature, Annie, Bonani, and Gary Alexis, yo. That was like I don't like using overused terms because they'd be like, yo, it was a movie. It was a movie. I think movie ain't enough, man. I think what's bigger than a movie? You know? It was a cinematic experience. How about that? It was IMAX theater, you know? It was Juilliard. Almost roll over a big ass pothole. I barely dodged it. That's the story of life, man. You just be driving, you think you're cruising all smooth, you think everything is good, and out the blue, a pothole just pop out of nowhere. You ain't even see it coming. Fortunate enough to move past that annoying bugger. You can be like, whew, with relief. But sometimes the potholes won't catch you off guard. You're gonna hit the hole hard. It's gonna be frustrating. You might have to get repairs to your vehicle. Maybe nothing happens at all. But what determines you is always gonna be some annoying potholes that try to derail you and derail your vehicle in life. But what determines you is how you react if it catches you off guard and you roll over that bump. Do you have I got insurance on all 4 of my tires. So if I hit a pothole hard and the tire goes, matter of fact, I got a slow leak on one of my tires right now. I got to drive and get them to patch it up, which I hate because the place I always go to get my tires done, where I have a lifetime a tire replacement and a lifetime damaged tire fix, they always try to keep your car all day. It's like, bruh, just take the car, switch out the tires, put the glue in it, put some gum, silly putty, whatever. I just need my car. We're not dropping an engine. Why should it take the entire day just to fix the slow leak in my tire? But I guess when your tires are insured and it's some in and out, they don't treat you as a priority. So yeah, you're not paying any money, and they see that, so they push you behind way to the back when you get there. So they close at 6. I'm gonna get there like probably 5:30. Now you know what? I'm not gonna do it today. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. The leak is pretty slow. Like all my 3 tires are about 333 psi, pounds per square inch. My slow leak tire is at 25 psi. This morning, it was at 28. So, within 10 hours, it only dropped 3 psi. So that tells me, I have one of those automatic pumps in my trunk instead of going to the gas station constantly and paying $2 to fill up my tires. So I'm gonna handle it. It's just so annoying when my schedule is so busy, when small things like happen like this. I got such little time to just be giving out like that, but it's one of the things. It's the vehicle. Gotta handle the vehicle. So, and I was gonna my plan was to do it this Saturday morning, or past Saturday morning, but I work for this limo company, and sure enough, they randomly scheduled me to work Saturday morning. and I had to be to work by 6:15, and I wasn't going to be back until like 11, and my appointment at Firestone was at 10. So there was no way I was, you know what I mean? So one thing after another, and then this coming Saturday, I can't even see my schedule, the limo job, so I have no idea if I'm working out. So I'm trying to catch it, and I'm trying to be in a situation where I leave work, hopefully like today I left a little bit after 4. But if I can leave exactly at 4 o'clock, I can get to the destination at like 4:40. And this is not a long job. This is not a time-consuming job that I'm bringing to these guys. It's just, damn it, just patch up this whatever is causing this minutely slow leak. Please patch it up. And that's life, man. You know, you have a great weekend, and it just throws things at you. You understand what I'm saying? You're avoiding potholes. You got a slow leak. My Facebook Messenger wasn't working, so I had to clear the data. Sometimes you got to clear the data of people in life and reset. So I had to clear the data for the messenger to be working right again. But when you clear the data for the messenger, and then you try to log back in your messenger, even though all your login information is on your phone, it says log into your messenger from another device. So I tried to do it from Google Chrome as opposed to like the Facebook app, and it still gave me the same runaround. And so what I did was, but it gives you other options. So I told it to send an activation code just to my phone, like my regular text messages. And I was finally able to get on. So I said up to say this: sometimes you'll have roadblocks and things stopping you in life, and it can be frustrating in the moment. But if you breathe in the nose, out the mouth slowly, in the nose, out the mouth slowly, assess your problem and your situation, and just think calmly and realize there will always be a solution to whatever is impeding your progress. It's just a matter of you maintaining a calm frame, giving your body and your mind a chance to focus and solve whatever it is that you're going through. You're going to find it. It is natural for things in life, people in life, to bother you, get you upset and aggravated. But the powers that be, devils, etc., especially when you're on a cusp of something great, they always try to take you off your square, one way or another. But just always recognize there's always a solution. There's always a workaround. There's always something to figure out. You just have to realize, like how I always say, life, it's not something that is happening in spite of you. Life is an experience. Look at the experience objectively and see all the things you can learn from it, and see how you even got into that situation in the first place. Maybe if you'd have made some different decisions even before getting to a certain point, maybe things would be completely differently. And so you learn through whichever adversity that you're going through, whichever, I don't like to call that adversity, whatever experience you're going through, this is the level of the video game. And if you want a different level in that video game, you got to tweak a couple of the options. It's just like when you go to play a game like Resident Evil or Silent Hill or something like that, those games tend to have a darker tint, like a darker lighting for the video game, right? So sometimes it's hard to see, hard to see things, hard to figure stuff out. But if that bothers you, if that version of the game bothers you, you can tweak it and lighten it up a little bit so that you can navigate the experience differently. And that's the same thing with obstacles in your life, people in your life, things that you have direct control over. Sometimes you want to lighten up the settings, so to speak, so that you can see things in a different way. So, people are always going to people. But it's up to us as the individuals experiencing this thing. All right, Fortnite man. What up, Fortnite man? You with that blind gamer thing, man. You better stop that. I'm not about to do the blind gamer thing. It's not happening. Fortnite man, where you from? What state you in, bro? or sis or whatever you are. Well, it's Fortnite man. But then again, it's women nowadays that call themselves men, and it's men that call themselves women. So I don't know. So Fortnite man. What state you in? They? What state you in, person? Yeah, man, but how do blind gamers play? Do they just play based on sound? That's it? They just going off the sounds, and if you do something wrong and whatever the game is, it's like and if you do something right, it's like a nice little chime or whatever. And you as the blind gamer, whatever you're doing, I don't know if it's Pong, whatever sequence you're doing, if you're running through a maze, every time you go the wrong way in the maze, and you go by the clicks, like 3 clicks forward, 1 click right, 3 clicks forward, 1 click left. You know what I'm saying? If you go too many clicks, so okay, I gotta do not 3 clicks, 2. And then if you try to take a left, so okay, I gotta go right. So I guess the goal of the game is you're trying to figure out this maze, the pattern as fast as possible. You gotta remember it based on the sounds. When it buzzes, that means you're in the wrong way. And I guess whoever figures it out how to get through this maze the fastest, I guess that would make you the winner. I literally just invented how I think blind people play video games. That's crazy. So Fortnite, he was working me. And no, I will never imitate the blind gamer while I'm driving. But I certainly did describe what that blind gamer was doing. But let me recap the weekend, man. So, as it started, I had the April Foolishness Comedy Show at the Elbow Room this past Saturday. Didn't sell out, but 44 tickets. There's about 44 seats with tables. We pretty much filled all that up. I think I was like 18 tickets short of it selling out, but I still had over 80-something% of the room sold out. And if any of you are my Facebook friends, when I go to my Facebook, you'll see like I took pictures, I did reels. It was packed out. The audience loved it. The guests loved it. Comedians did their thing. Dan Brown set it up lovely. I opened and I hosted. I was having a back and forth, I won't say his name, with a famous comedian about crowd work. And I do crowd work a little something, but more as a reactionary thing. And the famous comic pretty much challenged me. He didn't know if I could do crowd work or not. And I have the ability to do crowd work, and I execute crowd work. But I lean more on my material. But he lit such a fire under me with this back and forth that we had that I came out swinging, just pointing out things in the room, roasting the audience. You know what I'm saying? Nothing malicious, but I came out strong with the crowd work, set them up lovely. Then Dan went first. You know what I'm saying? Dan did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. Then Rick, he was a guest spot. He came up and he murdered. In his little fight, he's earned a booked spot from me in the next show that I produce. And then after that, Bonani, man. She's from Waterbury, but she's currently in Boston. Annie, and then she puts me on to a lot of rooms out in Boston, and Annie just annihilated that room, getting ovations, applause breaks, just laughter from the beginning to end, non-stop, a virtuoso performance. It was fantastic. It was a pleasure working with her, and I look forward, oh my God, to do more work with her. And then after her, my man Gary Alexis, man, regular at the Funny Bone, the Haitian sensation from Stamford, Connecticut, man. Gary brutalized, he pulverized that audience from beginning to end, man. It was just him. It was like the whole show was it was an hour and a half show. It was nonstop laughter for that hour and a half, especially the last hour with Annie, Bonani, and Gary Alexis together, man. Yo, they absolutely just decimated that audience. They didn't leave any laughs on the table. Nobody left early. it was fantastic. The reviews are good. That was special, man. That was special. If I ain't getting no fans from that, at this point, mofos is just hating. Mofos just hating at this point, because it's like, what more can an individual do when the show is good from top to bottom? You know, the guest spot was dope. The feature was dope. Headliner was dope. The show wasn't too long. It was just like, I went 10 minutes over, like an hour, 40 minutes. There was no incidents, no fights broke out. Everybody was getting a drink on. Shout out to the Elbow Room, getting people their food and their drinks in a timely fashion, just holding it down. That was dope, yo. The next show I got going down, it's going to be non-conventional because it's going to be on a Sunday, May 31st. I haven't put it together yet. I'm going to keep under wraps who's going to be closing it, but it's going to be a more of a matinee Sunday, 2 o'clock to 3, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock type situation. Just like a little quick show, just to wet everybody's whistle and you know, keep these comedians fed and keep the community entertained. But it was fun doing this, man. I had a really good time, yo. This is why I do this, yo. Even my last show 3 weeks ago with JT Moore, it was just as good. It was just as good. This one was like, it was this. I don't like to compare shows, but it was something special about this one. This one was. Both shows were special, you know, not to compare anything, but this one, like Annie to me, Annie's the wild card. Annie was the wild card between all shows. Like, just her in your face, fearless. The whole front of the audience was like straight up urban, black folks. Annie's white as Snow White. She don't care. She just fucking roasting, like just fearless, just bow. Yeah, like a brunch show. Yeah. She was the wild card like that. I've seen her perform before, but a lot of times, like the last time me and Annie worked together, I was the headliner. No, I was a feature. She was the headliner. Sorry, and I was selling merch. So the way that Nick's Comedy Stop was, it's a part of it. It's a shared space. The stage itself is not a shared space, but there are other businesses within, and there was like a lot of people in there that had nothing to do with the show. So I had my merch table set up, and I was watching my merchandise, so I didn't get a chance to really see Annie perform last time. But this time, yo, that man, she was the wild card in it, man. And Gary was fantastic too. Like all the comedians, JT Moore, all these comics I rock with, man. When I put somebody to close the show, I'm very objective. I don't care if I'm funnier than you, or I don't care if you're funnier than me. I want people to be funnier than me that hit the stage. If I'm the host, the headliner better be funnier than me, because the last person that's going up should bona fide be the best one. That's how it should be. The show is supposed to progress up, not be high and then be middle, and then, you know what I'm saying, the last person is high, but as on a level of laughter, but he's not higher than the first person. Nah, man. If I was going to say the reason why I think, I'll use myself. I exclude all the comedians, but myself. The reason why I think this show was better than the last show I did 3 weeks ago is because of me. It's because this particular show, I think I did a much better job of hosting than the last show. This particular show, like I told you, I almost said the celebrity name. Dude lit a fire under my ass. So I'm like, yo, can I do crowd work? Are you kidding me? And I came out there, man. I came out there combating. And I do crowd work in my own style. I don't do the, how long you been married? Where you from? Nah, man, I don't do that, John. I just see you, something pop in my head, and we going from there. If you choose to volunteer information to me, you could do that. And I don't knock anybody that does it that way, but it seems like everybody do it that way. Like, be it written, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I'm gonna always do things my way, you know, and I have fun doing it my way. If I feel like I'm copying other people's styles and patterns, it's like, how original am I being, man? Yo, it was one dude in the front of the audience, this cat. He was an African dude. He had this vertical green and white striped shirt, and he had this necklace on. And immediately, even before I noticed the necklace, I said, we got this dude dressed like a referee. And then I said, and he got the whistle. And it's funny because me calling him the referee became the recurring joke for the whole night for every comedian. I literally made a callback joke that everybody was able to use for the rest of the night. And that's what a decent host does. They'll find something outstanding like that about one of the audience members, and then the other comics use it. I'm setting y'all up to make the job run smooth. I'm a point guard. I'm passing the rock. Then his homeboy next to him, he had his hat backwards with the glasses. This dude looked just like Samuel. He's like the combination of Samuel L. Jackson mixed with but he was dressed like Wesley Snipes in New Jack City, man. So we had him. To the left, we had the white. It was funny. The room was segregated. The middle of the room was black. The right of the room was Latina, and the left of the room was white. It literally was like, yo, it was segregated. To the left, like a lot of the white people, they look like it was some Amish looking people towards the front left, and then to like the 9 o'clock left, it was like these three white dudes, and they wanted to be made fun of. I called them the January 6th crew. And then to my right, next to the Latinas, it was his young, handsome brother, no Diddy. He came by himself, so I said, this dude cheated on so many women, that's why he alone right now. You know what I'm saying? Because all his women is tired of him cheating on them. And he gonna get one of you ladies, and you gonna fall in love with him, he gonna cheat on you too. They love that. You know what I mean? And then the Puerto Rican group that was to the right of me, one chick, you can clearly see that she was dragged out there. Like, she didn't really want to be there. But, you know, her home guy, let's go to comedy show. She came, but she was just disinterested. So I'm being quiet. Like, when I'm hosting, I'm looking at her, and she's just being mad silent. And this is after the first comic went up. So this is like the second time I went up or whatever. And so I'm staring at her, being quiet on purpose, and she just not looking at me. And I said, yeah, you conceded. You got a reason. And then her homegirl, who it was her birthday, that was sitting right next to her, she was like, yes, I am conceited. And I was like, yo, I'm not even talking to you. I'm looking at your homegirl, man. You know, and then I started singing, you're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. So, you know what I mean? I had a good fun moment with that, man. Overall, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I did my thug thizzle. I remember in the beginning, one of the girls at the Puerto Rican table to the right, she kind of had Jill Scott's features. She was a little, that's real nice. So I started singing Take a Walk. And I really dig your company. And we can see the dooby. So I started singing to Jill Scott. But I noticed like 40% of the, and this is something I always do, I noticed 40% of the audience was white. So I knew most of them didn't know what I was singing, what I was talking about. And so I was like, I feel like I've alienated about 40% of the audience. And so then I went, sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? I always like to throw in the cheers whenever I can, the cheers theme. So that was funny. That was cool. Just overall, it was just a dope night. We're gonna be seeing some more shows that actually like reinvigorated. These last two shows reinvigorated my love for this producing stuff. It's just I have to make sure I give good space in between. Like, I took a risk because I produced these shows pretty much within 3 weeks of each other, and between both shows I had almost like 90-something tickets sold. And for me, for a local cat, you know, that ain't famous or nothing like that, you know what I mean? I give myself a little credit, man. You know, but it definitely invigorated my light, my energy and my light with this producing stuff. And I know, you know, just on the road to success, there's always going to be potholes. There's always going to be bugs that want to hit your windshield. There's always going to be obstructions that just pop up out of nowhere. But you got to navigate it. You got to drive around it. You understand? Or you just got to endure it, not be offended by it, not take it too personal. I said this in a video a few videos ago, and sometimes I got to remind myself, if there's no resistance, there's no progress. So if you're trying to get to somewhere and you're going on a good, positive path that will really get you somewhere that means something, there's going to be some type of resistance. And just know you push through that. And when you break through, you're going to be stronger. You're going to get to your destination, and then you go even further. Like I said, it's like when you're lifting weights, you're doing 10 reps. Them first 8, they easy. But that 9th, when your arms start shaking, and that 10th, when your arms is really shaking, that's the resistance. You push through that resistance, you've succeeded in making yourself stronger. So anything that tries to impede you, this is like the Bible say, using scriptures, like a lot of this stuff is invisible. A lot of this stuff is spiritual. A lot of people are being controlled just to stop you from the progress, and they don't even realize they're being controlled, because it's battling them on a mental level. And you could try to battle them physically, you could try to battle them face to face. Now if somebody hitting you physically, that's one thing, but you got to realize whatever is happening, it's inside it's on a spiritual level. So you got to attack it equally on a spiritual level. Maybe it's something inside your spirit that's attracting those demons. You know what I'm saying? That's your cross to bear in life. Don't be upset when things get a little bit difficult. Don't be upset when something impedes your progress, because if there's no resistance, there's no progress. So if you're getting resistance, that means you're progressing. I'm about to sign off. Like I always say, every young up-and-coming comedian. Oh yeah, by the way, me and my lady, we went to this restaurant in the West Hartford, not the West Hartford, Blueback Square. And the music was cool. I'm not gonna call out the restaurant, but the burger was meh. The fries was meh. It was a meh. But a lot of times when you go out with the person that you love, your significant other, it's not even about the place that you go to. It's about it. It's about the two of you experiencing it together. And we both experienced it, and we both thought it was pretty ass, and we're not going back. But I won't, unless I'm getting paid to do reviews and stuff like that, I'm not gonna publicly bash restaurants. I'm not trying to blow up by just being negative towards things. I'm trying to be a solution to the negativity. You understand what I'm saying? My goal is not, just to blow. And I don't knock anybody that, if that's how they want to get on, you know what I'm saying, critiquing and things of that nature. Unless I'm getting paid, I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to perfect this art, perfect this craft, be positive with my verbals, give people inspiration as much as I can, you know what I'm saying, so they can help navigate this life. That's what I'm about. To me, for me personally, me just constantly being a critic and putting stuff down, it's like, if I'm not getting paid for it, and it's putting negative eyes on me, like, it's already negative eyes on me already. You know what I'm saying? So to be negatively critical, that's why I had to run in with the celebrity comic, because I was being critical about crowd work. You know what I'm saying? I was minimizing it. And even if I think the mechanics of things that go into it, it's not that deep, you still got to master it. You know what I'm saying? And I think when I said that, I made myself seem like a genius that was above it all. Because, like, I understand basketball, you shoot the ball in the hole, pass, set picks, whatever. Like, the game of basketball is basic, but mastering it is difficult. And I think me putting that energy out there, that critique energy publicly, it just unnecessarily brought eyes on me that didn't have to be brought to me. When I could have I don't got to tell anybody how to do anything comedy wise, man. Especially if veterans is going back and forth about certain fundamentals, and they millionaires and I'm not. Nah, just let them be where they are and do what they do, and I'm gonna do my thing my way, and hopefully, not even hopefully, and I will succeed off of that. I've been succeeding off of it. Just have to showcase myself to a broader audience and showcase myself more often and still be consistent. Man, it was so many things. Like, the weekend was great, But it was just so many potholes. I mean, speaking metaphorically, but it was just so many potholes and flies hitting the windshield, and surprise, various surprise obstacles that just popped up out of nowhere. That could have easily made me say, you know what, man, I don't feel like doing this show. I'm not in the right headspace. But then I would have never been able to give this. I think I'm giving a great message right now. Because if there's no resistance, that was resistance. And I fought through the resistance, and here I am still talking to you. Still gave y'all 30 minutes. So I progressed despite the resistance. And I'm going to keep progressing. But I'm going to just be on DEFCON 5 for all the potholes and the bugs trying to hit my windshield and the necessary obstructions just popping up out of nowhere. I'm paying attention even more now. You know what I mean? I got the GPS. I got my compass. I got my map. You know what I mean? I got some new wiper blades. I got some brakes for the car. Like, I'm ready, man. I'm going to get the most that I can get out of this physical existence, and I'm not going to let outside forces impede that unless they just want to just end my life like now. And even then, my atoms going to redistribute something else, and the job's still going to get done. It's just going to get done in another form. No such thing as writer's block. Younger comedians, there is no such thing as writer's block. If the comedy gods are not giving you any new ideas, that is their way of telling you to work on the ideas that you've already laid down, that they've already given to you. Stay away from the nonsense. Stay away from the foolishness. Stay away from the negativity. Stay away from the rumors. Focus on the funny and lead with love. Life isn't something that is happening in spite of you. Life is an experience to behold. With that being said, it's all love. You already know. I'll holler at y'all. Deuces.